One more quick story. A few years ago, when we were starting our work on greenhouse environments and the Alliance, I got to go and meet with a room full of pastors, about 30 pastors representing, I don't know, 15 or 16 churches. And we were talking about the themes that I'm sharing with you now, about how we discover and develop and deploy people. And then I asked them the same questions I've asked you. Tell me the circumstances where God really got a hold of you. What happened? And it was very interesting. One of the key pastors of this network shared, and he said, I was the blind guy sitting on the side of the road. And he described how in his 20s, coming off the rails, God got a hold of him and grabbed his heart, and he never looked back. And then as the other people began to share, we heard interesting themes. Many of these people were in their 20s. Many of them were in places of wandering when God really stepped in and intervened. Doesn't mean that has to always be the case with people, certainly, but it does suggest that as we think about developing other people, grace comes into play, and we need to be willing to see as God sees and see the big picture of people's lives, not just their immediate behavior. Boy, if we looked at the immediate behavior of these leaders, and myself included, we would all be disqualified. But God's grace is greater, as the old hymn says, than all of our sin. That's hopeful for you and me, and it's also hopeful as we have the eyes to see what God is doing and can express the grace to people, even if they're coming off the rails a little bit, to help give them a larger vision for their lives.